please put it to, me, whatever, or it doesn't ring.
Silent.
Silent, that's it.
Or turn it off.
I'm too much on my little brain here today. Okay, so we'll stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
It's a flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll call the meeting to order. Introduction of new commissioners. We have Marie Reinhardt. Hello.
Hi, Marie.
And Lakeisha's maybe running late.
I had not been informed of that, but I know that Donna at the front desk is ready to send her over here
Okay.
upon her arrival.
Well, Marie, since you're new to the board, we'd like to welcome you, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself, where you served and what you did, what you're doing now.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I've met some of you, but for those that I've not, my name is Marie. I served 8 years in the United States Navy. I did my first couple years in public affairs at the Pentagon, and then I decided to become a Navy corpsman, where I served with the sailors, and then I went what they call Green Side with the U.S. Marine Corps. I am currently at Xavier University finishing my master's in healthcare administration. I appreciate all of you letting me join you, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Well, we welcome you aboard, and we're very, very happy you're going to be with us.
Very good use of a Navy term, Madam President.
And I know that Jerry Rowland and Richard both had VA appointments, and they plan to be here, so they might be running a few minutes behind schedule, but we'll go ahead with the meeting. So, Chelsea, you have to do the roll call, please.
Yes, Commissioner Breitfelder, Commissioner Lowry, or beg pardon, Commissioner Reinert, Commissioner Ware, Commissioner Watson, Madam President Wilson.
I'd like to introduce our guest. We have Lisa Stoper with us, and she is with the Pine Street Hill Cemetery.
Yes,
And I've known Lisa for many years. We did work for Republic.
done track.
Yeah, Republic for many years. She was my account rep. And I miss her now. She's gone because I don't get the same customer service I did when Lisa was there. And also we have Miss Sarah Vaughn with us. And Sarah and I have been friends. Well, actually, she started out as my nurse practitioner, psychiatrist, psychologist, and good friend. Sarah's recently retired from the VA and going on to better things. And we met for lunch, so I invited her to come to the meeting today.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for that too.
And she's a United States Army veteran.
Yes, I'm
And her husband's a veteran.
Yeah.
So,
Marine.
Note the red hats in the audience. Careful.
it's a pilot, right?
He was a pilot.
Yeah.
What did he fly?
It was
A plane.
Yeah, planes.
Okay. That narrows it down.
Yeah. He was a bomber, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll have to ask him tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and that convinced her.
She's
got an interest.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Uncle,
Yes, sir.
he wasn't a pilot, he was a naval aviator.
No, well, he said these are great.
All righty. So I now entertain a motion to approve our agenda. Need a motion?
Need a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
All right, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our previous meeting. They were all sent out to us prior to the meeting, so everyone should have had a chance to review them. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion to approve the minutes, seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Here now we're under, public comments. And I'm gonna call on Lisa. Sure. Ta-da.
It's ready. Just if you double click.
It's self-serve.
Well, no, if you want me to,
No. This
I can be your clicker if you need. It's right there in the middle.
Says I'm having some problem driving them out. Somebody you got mad at or what?
No, this is what happens when you
Thought something slipped, but it was the screen.
Oh,
that'll do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, no.
I think, is it open down?
They probably know. Okay.
Well, we're just gonna leave that side part of it, essentially. So thank you for, having me today. Some of you I know, I don't know if Mr. Watson remembers Schwan and I from last year. And, I know I've met Lincoln, indirectly through Keith when we did, the program last year in 2024, or Black History Month.
Oh, yeah.
So, general manager of Vine Street Hill Cemetery, last 3 years. And I would say that probably that is an area that you may or may not have heard of, but are not aware of where it's at, even if you drive by it on a daily basis, say going to the University of Cincinnati or otherwise. So just a quick little aside on us. We are celebrating our 175th year this year. We have 116 developed acres on the site. If you look at the little map on the side there, you can see where we sit in proximity to 75 and Vine Street. As of December of 2024, we had 4,219 veteran burials on our campus. Those range from the Mexican-American War all the way up to the Global War on Terror. In 1990, the board of the cemetery had created an area or a section specific to veteran burials. When you come in off of our Mitchell Gate, it is off to the right-hand side. They tried to mirror as closely as possible to an actual national cemetery. We have currently 758 servicemen and women that are interred specifically on that hill. Right here. So, question being, why are we focused on the veteran community? Like I said, we had another lady that was helping me out that we were here last year. We were talking about, it was the first year we did Reach Across America. We were rededicating that particular veterans section specifically. So two elements, business element. One, we've got an existing section. When you come in off Mitchell, so veterans, that whole area, it's over 1,200 spaces. I probably have less than 200 left between reservations and then spouses. Everything in yellow is what I've got left to develop as far as burials. So all of these sections, older sections, like I said, 175 years, there may be a spot here, there may be a spot there. This is what I've got left to develop, which is right in proximity to our veterans section.
Okay.
We have, since we opened this section, offered a discount to veterans in appreciation for their service. It's 15% off of what the normal grade price would be. Closest national cemetery, I believe, is actually Dayton, even though there's one that I think is still open in Indiana, but I think Dayton's closer. And then just some data as far as 2023 census number of veterans in the greater Cincinnati area is over 104,000. And over 47,000 veterans are actually registered with the VA's medical center services. So from a business standpoint, this is kind of how we're looking at it. I've got to figure out a plan to say, what are we going to do for the next 175 years? Looking at the data from the last 20 years, the number of veteran interments, especially in that section where we do the discounting and like to tell folks about, has fallen off. Which to me is something that I need to look into. So kind of what we were doing last year, like I said, was the rededication, our first year doing Reese Across America. So looking to kind of continue on that. Personal reasons for wanting to do something about this, certainly pride in where we live. Recognition of the sacrifices that everyone here, whether you serve during peacetime, wartime, your families, and appreciation for your commitment to our country. And then an appreciation for the lifestyle that we often take for granted. I think a lot of folks take for granted. So, that is why we are focused on the veterans. And then if I can just change. So communication I found is the biggest problem that the cemetery seems to have, whether it's trying to communicate with Avondale, surrounding areas, whether it's trying to communicate, we did, well, Mr. Sansa, Commissioner Sansa, Orlando.
There you go.
Did a program with Easter Seals Redwood when they first opened that facility. I've gone in and participated in that piece, met some nice folks there, had a talk with Amber, and it's just, you make connections and then the communication seems to stop as far as how to continue to integrate what it is that I feel that the cemetery can actually offer to the veteran community outside of, obviously, you know, the business aspect of it. So one of the things that we've done there at the cemetery is different workshops. And this was kind of what I had talked to Orlando about as far as this would work into if they did another financial type of workshop for veterans. I think one of the biggest things that we see is insurance issues. So we've had workshop where we'll bring somebody in, they'll kind of walk through. A lot of folks feel that they've got it covered or their family member has it covered, not realizing that maybe the policy doesn't pay out right at the time of passing. Maybe the policy, the beneficiary is someone who it's not going to pay out to, or the family unfortunately isn't speaking to. Maybe it has to go to probate court. So lots of questions that we get that unfortunately we find out about at the time when the family really doesn't want to be dealing with those kind of questions.
Yeah.
So that's something that we've done that I talked about being something that we could really integrate into some kind of a program that either Hamilton County might have. I've been talking to a young lady over at VA Medical Services area. Obviously pre-planning because that's what we do as far as that goes. Last will and testament, I've actually had some folks that actually will ask questions in regards to that. So lots of opportunities that we would like to be able to integrate into maybe an existing program. Like I said, what I'm having a problem doing is actually reaching the community. I don't know how to do that at this point. I've decided lots of hanging papers in all kinds of places, but not really getting the connection that we're looking for. I did have actually a conversation with one of the gentlemen in our church, and they've done a nice program that they would be willing to look at, talking about phishing and scamming and what that looks like. So, and more, like I said, PowerPoint type of idea where, because I'm dealing with my mom. It's like, well, Mom, if you look at the back end of it, it doesn't even remotely say, you know, the name of the business. So those kind of things. One of the things that I had talked to Commissioner Stanford about was that we actually have, with the family lots of, not lots of folks, there are a number of graves that are donated back to the cemetery with stipulations as to how they may be used. A lot of folks choose to actually donate those back and say that they would like it to be used for a veteran or veteran's family member that otherwise could not afford a burial or a full body burial or whatever that might look like. I know I had given that list to Steve. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. Kirby. So I'd be happy to, like I said, the problem is we can't, at the cemetery actually tell who is in need and who is not.
Right.
So the communication was, if that is something that happens, we'd love to be able to say that we've got the space that we can donate. That's
I think
what
that
it was
it would be good information for us to have as we're dealing with particularly those who are under financial duress.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we plan on having, regular financial counseling, credit counseling sessions once we get to our new facility, in January. And this is certainly something that we could potentially incorporate into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I know I'd given it to Steve, but I don't really know where it went from there.
Okay.
I just had a question. How many graves are available for you talk about folks that need veterans that might not have any finances for a grave?
I would probably have about 45. Yeah.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you, vet is buried there, okay, at the National Cemetery, the spouse could be buried in that same thing. Is that true here?
Correct. So, on Veterans Hill itself, it is specifically for the veteran and their spouse if they designate it to be so. Throughout the cemetery, the rest of the cemetery is as I've got space provided. If it's a donated space and it's on a family lot where I've got two, then that's great. It all depends on what that donation looked like. The center of the cemetery was, you would sell a 20 by 20 foot lot. So if maybe only two folks used it and then the rest of the family moved somewhere else, then I may have places for adjacency. It's just gonna depend.
And they bury them on top. That's what I'm talking about.
I've got double depth lawn crypts, that are actually with a system to do that. We haven't done a coffin over coffin without a substructure, double interment in about 60 years, but it would be something we could talk about. Like I said, if it comes down to an individual who has a need, and they have a spouse that we're looking to either put in next to or something like that, then that's certainly something we can look at. Like I said, what I got from the donations are kind of throughout the cemetery. Does that make sense? I don't know, did I answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'll pick it up. Hold on. Obviously, I need to see it after. Okay, Wreaths Across America, we did it, last year was the first year that we did it. We had, 286 wreaths. We had, assistance from Wright Pat Air Force Base, which was great. Did, ROTC through UC, had, Cincinnati, School of Performing Arts, help us out. And then we've got, they should be back this year. Roger Bacon High School is bringing volunteers. The biggest, which this will all be recapped in the ask, I guess, but I asked for someone from Hamilton County to be there, and unfortunately we weren't able to get anybody to be there for that. And I had asked, Delbert Warmack was a World War II missing in action veteran, and we had a ceremony for him, 21 gun salute and all, and couldn't get representation for that either. So this is us. You're coming down 75. Oh, look how green the grass is. 75. This is us right there. According to 2018, 92,980 vehicles pass through the Mill Creek Expressway daily. I would say 92,978 of them have absolutely no idea what we are.
Right.
No, I mean, seriously. Sadly. There we go. So, top is us, Vine Street Hill Cemetery, that's right, the Mitchell entrance, that is my Veterans Hill. It's nice and green, it's got some buildings up on the top. When they designed it with flush markers, which that's, up to the cemetery at the time they do it. Okay, below that is Chattanooga National Cemetery. I've got a unique opportunity to determine what we're doing, like I said, with the remainder of the space that we've got. That can look like anything depending on what the need is. I don't know what the need is. It could be set up with the uprights where it really makes that presentation. Could be set up with columbaria. It could be not veterans. I'm just looking for, and like I said, when we get to the ask here,
Is that space currently completely unoccupied, or are there?
well, actually, I think it's on the next slide. That is not on the next slide. Where was it? So, all of this, all of that is nothing right
Okay.
now. That was the yellow space
Yeah,
around.
correct.
So veterans is directly in between that. So at this point, no, it is not designated as anything. And like I said, I'm looking for input, which I know is a weird ask, but I don't, like I said, I think it could be a great resource for Hamilton County. Certainly we're not the only cemetery out there, I get that. I think it could have a tremendous presentation. But if it's not something that there's a community that would be interested in full body burial as opposed to cremation, or if they're not interested in being buried here locally, they want to go to a national cemetery. I don't know. I do know that I'm in the hot seat and I make the decision and then I have to live with it. So I'm looking for information. So really honestly, my asks for today are, I think it would be great if somebody came to our Race Across America event this year. It's like an hour and a half, and that's it. Hoping to have a bigger crowd, and that's kind of, I don't know how to reach the veteran community to even let them know that we're having that. So would love some assistance in getting that out for folks that are in this area. Partnership again. So certainly if you're doing things and there's some way that we can fit in, like I said, I've had some really interesting programs. Some of them aren't mine that we've used that I think is great information for folks. And then, like I said, I don't really know how to determine what folks are looking for. Like I said, working with somebody in the VA to be an agent to be able to go to their medical services building. Maybe have some conversations there with different groups on their campus. But like I said, just looking for anything anybody might want to provide on that. Hi,
Hi, how are you?
your wheels top mine.
Oh,
Not necessarily a game you want to get into.
No, probably. So I've got a hard copy of that. I have 8 of them. I don't know if you want me to eat those.
Sure, I think that would be great.
Okay.
So first of all, Lisa, point number 1 there, you could be assured that I'll be there on December 13th.
Okay.
And we'll see what other folks' schedule will be. So you'll certainly have representation
Okay.
at Wreaths Across America from the VSC.
Okay.
Count on that.
Appreciate that.
As Jim mentioned, when we move into our new facility, we're going to be engaging in a lot more additional training sessions and informational sessions with
Sure.
our veterans. And so this is something that we can certainly include among that.
Okay.
Oftentimes people, and I'm sure you experience this all the time, probably have an avoidance of funeral plans?
Well, yeah, that's the other problem is inviting people to the cemetery, they get a little antsy as opposed to
Sure.
us being able to take that, when we do like a lunch and learn or something
Yeah.
like that.
But we can certainly share that information during those sessions as well as communicate it out with Amber's help through our different outreach channels and so on. So we can certainly help you promote the opportunities that are there.
Okay, that is. All right, well, here, I'll link right by you.
You're good.
Well, great. You can share the slide. So, like I said, I wasn't sure how many folks we're gonna have.
Oh,
So I was here out.
I always print out more.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing that I know I kind of see that, so anyhow, I appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you.
thanks
Any
for
other-
being here, Lisa. Sweetie.
By the Muska, do I say it's good?
Well, it's good.
Welcome to stay. It's entirely up to you.
Before we, thanks so much, Lisa, for being here and giving us all that information. That was great. Much more knowledgeable now. Thank you. Before we move on to old business, Commissioner Lowry came in a little bit after our meeting started. She's our new addition to the board. We welcome you very much, and I thought perhaps maybe you'd like to say a little bit about yourself to the board, where they can get to know you a little bit better.
All right, well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am a Cincinnati native, and I think, I truly believe that Cincinnati is one of the best cities around the world, not just in the United States, and I've been blessed to be a lot of different places. It was very important for me to come home and bring my knowledge and skills and abilities here. I am Lincoln Heights born and bred, and I'm very proud to say that everywhere I go and put Lincoln Heights on the map. I'm happy to be here and continue to military, and I'm connected with the veteran community. As Commissioner Reese said, I think yesterday, my days sometimes roll together. I'm retired, even though I'm young. But as Commissioner Reese said, I was one of those veterans that when I came home, I struggled to reintegrate into life here in Cincinnati. And I have a lived experience, and I want to help others not have that same struggle. So thanks for the warm welcome, and I'm glad to be on board.
And we're pleased to have you here with us. Thank you so much for serving.
Well, we just do.
The Emperor of Lincoln Heights.
Okay. We're gonna move on to old business. Glenn's gonna give us a update on the 2025 budget.
Yes, thanks, Madam President. Well, as I shared last time, we found ourselves in a tight spot here to finish out FY '25. The very first spreadsheet that you have in your binder here, the 3 rows, 3 personnel, 4 other expenditures, 5 capital outlay. I get this sheet every single morning from Chelsea because we had very little understanding of where we were budget-wise. We've shared this information before, both the staff as well as you as commissioners. And so we have rectified that. So I just wanted you to know, number one, this is what I walk into every single morning. Chelsea provides me, and it's up to the moment that very day in terms of where we stand with our financial situation. We've improved considerably. That bottom line was a 0 just a couple of days ago, as was other expenditures. The bottom line is we still don't have enough money to get through 2025. I am providing a brief. I've been asked to brief the county commissioners both on our 26 budget request as well as for the supplemental budget. That's going to be at 11 o'clock next week on the 18th, Tuesday the 18th. I'll be presenting. So if you're able to come, you're more than welcome. It'd be good to have support there. What the supplemental request that's been submitted is for $183,000. 83,000 of that is for personnel salaries and benefit expenditures through the remainder of the year. We had enough. What you see there, we had enough to get through the month of November, but we're going to be broke at that point. So that'll get us through the remainder of the year until we kick into our new budget in 26. The $100,000 was the calculation that I had provided you before, largely from Jim's team, what we anticipate veteran relief needs to be throughout the remainder of the year, and incorporated within that, and Jim likely touch on this more when he talks about our financial program, but that also includes our holiday gifts program for holiday meals. And that's going to start on December 1st, publication of that, or the announcement of that on December 1st, correct?
Correct.
So that's where we stand at the moment. The next sheet, and this is what I'm going to be looking for some feedback from you. This right here. This is what Chelsea has put together. So this is what we plan to provide you each and every month. In future months ahead of the meeting, this will come out along with the minutes for the meeting, as well as, the agenda for the meeting, as well as the minutes from the previous. So you'll get a package of three things: agenda, minutes, and where we are for the monthly budget. So I can walk you through this very quickly. This is our October snapshot. We ended the month of September, as you can see, more than $64,000 in the hole. But as a result of going through with a fine-tooth comb all of the encumbered dollars that we had in terms of purchase orders, I had mentioned before, a pretty big one was that veteran memorial, where we had $28,311 encumbered to do the veteran memorial out at our new location. We said, I'll stop on that. We're going to have to look at that as we move forward. So by identifying those bills that we were not going to need to pay, or we had more encumbered on those purchase orders than we were going to spend, we were able to get from being $64,000 in the hole to an available balance on the 20th of October of almost $38,000. Closing balance, of course, we paid bills through that. And as you can see where we stand today, we're at that $7,473.83. Out of that, of course, that's where we get our veteran relief dollars come from that. Any additional expenses outside of capital, which we just had our last capital expense for the year, which was the purchase of a van. We submitted that invoice to the Office of Addiction, OAC, Office. Yeah, it's addiction. The organization here in Hamilton County, Addiction Services, that we had the grant with the $80,000 grant. 30,000 of that was to help support our veteran appreciation event this year and next, but 50,000 was reimbursement for the van. So interestingly, when we submitted that, we got pushback on that submission saying, no, that's a restricted fund that can only be used for capital expenses. And we're like, well, wait a minute. We already expended the capital. We couldn't access the grant funds until you saw the invoice for the capital expense. So worked directly with Megan at Addiction Services, and she authorized it. So we're all good to go. So that 495. Anyhow, that's coming back into item number 4, other expenses. So we'll end up with a zero balance there in capital because we're done spending money. So moving forward, this will be the type of information you get. So welcome your feedback now or after you've had a chance to review it. I know this is the first time you're seeing it. If there's more or less information that you want, you can see where we have paid one-time sponsorships. We're done entertaining sponsorships for the remainder of the year due to our fiscal situation. And we're going to be eyeballing those with a laser focus next year, because much of what we're looking at this year is, what's the value in those donations. Commissioner.
One thing I like to see on this is the money we give out. They need to give us what they did with this money. We have no accountability on this 12 family. $3,000.
Correct.
Who got this money? We need this. Each one of these should give us something and let us know, and it should be attached to this. Cause our organization I work with, when we gave away money, we got some feedback of what they did with that, with our dollars, and we're not getting that here.
You're right, and you make a great point. I mean, we have revised the system by which we authorize sponsorships, that spreadsheet and, how much of it is going to veterans in Hamilton County and does it directly align with our mission and so on. But there's been no follow-up. We haven't closed the loop. And so beginning next year, as I said, we're done with sponsorships for this year, but beginning next year, that will be a secondary part of that. People will, as a contingency of the sponsorship, they'll be required to provide us that.
Yeah, I mean, anything that we give money for, we need to have a follow-up, what you did with the dollars.
Correct.
Cause this is taxpayer dollars.
That's right. And, the three overarching themes that we've talked about and that I have for 2026 is number one, growth. We're going to grow. We're going to have the opportunity to grow some staff. We're going to grow what we're doing in terms of mission achievement. Accountability. We want to be accountable to our veterans. We need to be accountable to you, to our board, and transparency. So that aligns with all of those things.
Thank you.
Okay? Yes. Marie.
Just so that I'm tracking, because I did read the meeting minutes, but because you're operating in the negative, is it possible to get a further evaluation of the budget through like a balance sheet or an operating budget?
Well, we can certainly do that.
I can
Yes,
provide that
we
for
can
you,
provide-
yes.
Sure.
I will provide that for you,
And then
yes.
my second follow-up question to that is of the individuals and sponsorships that are being paid, is it possible to get data of what or how or why this was allocated?
Well, and that's part of the what and the how is part of the application process.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that. But what we want to do to finish the loop is we want to see, once we've given you the sponsorship, once we've donated to your organization, you're required to provide us feedback on how those monies were spent. And what the receipts and what the
And
impact.
receipts.
Yeah.
Good point.
Mr. Lowry? Yes.
So I have a couple of questions. One question is for, with this being November, when will we be looking at a 2026 operating? That's one.
Well, Okay.
And then following what Marie said, if I understand what you're saying, Marie, you're getting at, if I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, well, why did we approve these amounts in the first place? If we had to see that we would be operating at a negative balance.
Well, see, that's an interesting comment. Didn't.
Yeah.
It came up and bit us. We did not know that we were facing this, and that's why that third piece that I talked about, transparency, we've talked about that among the staff. Up until now, even the managers of the various different programs had no idea. It wasn't being shared with them how much money was in their budget and what they had in terms of, funds to expend. That has all changed. That's completely different. Now, with respect to our 2026 budget, my predecessor submitted the original request of $4,002,000 and some change. May. Now, the county is under a $60+ million deficit, so every county entity has been asked to remain flat. And so for us, that's round numbers 3 million. However, again, we went through every line item. I did along with all the managers. We got together. I've had a number of conversations with our county administrator. The county commissioners are supportive of us for sure, and you saw some of that feedback that we got yesterday from 2 of the 3 county commissioners. Our budget that we have submitted officially now is 3.2 million. So when I go there next Tuesday to
What time is that?
that is at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Tuesday the 18th at 11 o'clock. So that 3.2 million will be what I'll be talking about, and again using the growth strategy that we have is the primary reason for the increase. Now, we have shaved a lot of costs. We have really cut back on our marketing and advertising. We've taken a very focused approach at where those literally hundreds of thousands of dollars were going. and working with Market 360, the firm that we had hired to provide us some input on. It's difficult. You know, we spent $106,000, for instance, at Cumulus Radio. How many veterans walked through the door because they heard us on Cumulus? How many veterans came through the door because they went to a Reds game and that $100,000 that we spent with the Reds got somebody to come to the door? We don't know.
And so,
And the Bengals.
I have seen,
No, and so the Bengals aren't even on the list for consideration right now because several of us have been to games and we have not seen a single advertisement for the Veterans Service Commission. We've had the opportunity to have our table set up outside ahead of a couple of games, but we're not even in the stadium. We're over on the banks between the two. And so, and I've been there, so many of our colleagues have been there, helped staff that booth. If we get 100 people that come by and take free stuff, 2 might be veterans, but we don't know. You know, it's just not the best expenditure of our funds. So all of those things we have just really taken a renewed level of focus on because we got surprised coming to find out because it was spend. And then all of a sudden, you know, I see this and there's parentheses around numbers, which is never what you want to see, right? So we have taken very proactive measures to get that squared away. We're going to be fine throughout the remainder of 26. And then new budget kicks in on January 1st.
we get good return on radio. Because I have talked to some vets and they told me, you know, they heard about us on the radio and they didn't know about us.
Well, we've begun asking that question when we do the intake forms. Yeah, how did you hear about us? Because that's one of the ways that we can determine it. Yes, sir.
Just to talk a little bit about the sponsorship program in a little bit more positive light. We made a change last year to require a metrics pre-application sheet that didn't exist before last year. Those grants were going out without any upfront justification.
Correct.
Nor after action report. So we have made a positive step in that now we are vetting these organizations up front, and we are supposed to be looking at financials, and we're supposed to be looking at a justification for why they're asking for the funds. I think that the next act, which Commissioner Head brought up, is an after action report. But also we need to include in those requests those charitable organization rating sheets that I've asked us to put in.
Mm-hmm.
So any future organization has to give us a copy of, or we should obtain a copy of a charitable organization like Charity Navigator, or there's 3 or 4 of them out there that says what these people are doing nationally. Charity Navigator also has a means to include a copy of the last filed tax return. So the more closely we look at them up front, and if we add this after action report, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
But the program is improving over the last 2 years, and I think this is just a step to make it a little bit better.
And thank you for saying that. Yeah, I didn't want to cast a dark shadow over that. You're absolutely right. We have dramatically improved the front end of the process. Now it's just a matter of completing the loop. Amber, did you have a comment?
I was just gonna follow up to that, and say that, for December's meeting, we will have a revised matrix to include the after action section and the charitable, form. So it'll be a revised version for December with your approval.
Sure. But that we'll be using that moving forward.
For next year.
Okay. Again, I'll entertain any feedback that you have in terms of, is this digestible? I mean, does it make sense to you? Is it?
I think it's great.
Okay. Well, thank you. Again, this is right in that transparency piece right here. And so I look forward to being able to provide you this every month. That's all I had in terms of, old business.
Now we're on to new business.
Yeah.
And now I guess we're gonna talk about the 26th.
We're gonna talk about the 26th budget. That's right. I've actually kind of combined them there. Yeah, we are meeting, doing the presentation on the 18th at 11 o'clock, as I mentioned. We've got some, this is just anecdotal, we've got some very encouraging comments and feedback from both Commissioner Dreehouse and Commissioner Reese at the Cold War event yesterday. They both expressed their excitement to hear about what it is that we're doing. Of course, we're going to have to justify. Again, keep in mind that everybody is supposed to stay flat. But I've put together a very detailed analysis. And I know that you had kind of an off-the-cuff conversation with Commissioner Dreehouse, and thank you. I'm sorry, it was Reese.
Might have been.
When you called me, you said it was Dreehouse.
I think, yeah.
Yes, and thank you for that heads up, that I might be getting a call. I'd rather be surprised by you. I'd rather be surprised by you than one of our Board of County Commissioner members. But you did a fantastic job of just laying out why we're asking for more is we're growing because and I can share this with you too, the analysis that we've done are 3, what I call quote unquote competitor counties, Cuyahoga, Franklin, and Montgomery. They are spending 3, 4, 5, 6 times per veteran than what we are doing. And you take the total appropriation, divide that by the number of veterans as indicated through the Ohio Department of Veteran Services in their county. I mean, some of them are at $162 per veteran. We're at $39 per veteran. And so, and we're even far behind our neighboring counties who have far fewer veterans than we do. So that's really the justification.
Yeah, when you put it to them like that, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but not that it's necessarily a competition, but we're not keeping up with those that we want to, not only do we want to be in the peer group with, frankly, we don't want to be their peer, we want to be their leader.
Right.
And that's what this county is going to do. We are going to lead from the front. And the other thing, and Jim, all of the managers have started to provide me with very tangible data in terms of what their service is, what they're doing. So now when I do my 5 or 6 slide presentation like I did at the Rotary Club, I tell you, I can tell folks in the audience exactly how many people we've given transportation assistance to. I can tell from Jim's report exactly the number of dollars that we have contributed to financial assistance and exactly how many claims that we've been able to process. And the really cool thing that Chris has just come up with, and he would be here, but he's helping a customer right now, is we have had roughly $260,000 in retroactive back pay in claims that he's been able to account for so far. And in addition to that, we're north of $45,000 a month in VA claim benefits that are coming in. So we're closing in on $750,000, and that's partial data. We still don't have the complete data. So yeah, we're asking the county for 3.2 million, but we know we've got at least $1 million coming back from the federal government into our community, into our county, contributing to the economy. So it's not like money's just flying out the door and there's not a return on that investment. So,
and you know, we reached a lot of people when outreach. The outreach that we got now, I was at DAV, and they commend Hamilton County about how they doing outreach, and they're gonna follow us, especially doing coffee at the VA. We reached so many people that didn't know about this organization at the VA. It was scary. I mean, you know, these people coming to the VA and they don't know nothing about us down here.
right.
So we sent them down here. One guy, he was homeless. And we gave him a token to get down here. In 2 days, he had a park. And he spread that like wildfire. That is a plus for us that we are doing our job.
Well, the outreach team has just been doing an amazing job. Speaking of the DAV, I just taped an interview last week with Pavan Parikh, our clerk of courts, Dan Clare, who's the communications outreach director for DAV National, and myself. We were at WVXU, and it aired yesterday, at least one time, if not a couple of times, talking about from our different organizational perspectives, you know, what the challenges are the veterans are facing and what we're doing to address those challenges. And so those kinds of things, and that's free advertising.
Yes.
We're not paying, you know, and it's just a true blessing to be able to get out there and do that. So that's, in terms of my update for new business and the budget update, I think I've covered all of it. Good, okay, good.
All right. I will now entertain a motion to move into executive session.
Ma'am, could we do the commissioner and director updates first?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to hurry up.
I'm not done talking. You do that. I will go next. All right. Well, first of all, I want to, Amber, anything to update specifically? I know that there's a sheet in your binder that updates on all of the outreach activities.
Right. And I just wanted to apologize because Madam President made me aware that she did not receive a monthly outreach calendar this month for November. So if that's true for all of you, I do apologize and that won't happen again. You do have a physical copy, but being that we're 2 weeks into the month, it's kind of irrelevant at this point, even though we still have many events to go. We've been very busy this month. But that won't happen. I'll try to get those out to you all on the 1st. So if you ever don't receive it, I do apologize, but I will correct it as well.
And you can see there's a picture collage of some of the activities that we've done just
And those
within the
are all
last.
this week.
I was gonna say, that's just this, that's just this week.
That's this.
That's right. And that calendar is included within your package.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And then I did add a picture of the new minivan
Yes.
for James.
I was just gonna say, James he's driving customers around right now, but you can see the new van that we just got, fully ready to go, and it's great.
I seen one yesterday coming off the freeway going to Lincoln Heights or something.
Madam President, I'll go through my list very, very quickly. I just want to keep back to the transparency thing, keep everybody up to date. I just attended my first Hamilton County Veteran Employee Resource Group presentation. That's a new group that was just founded this year welcome. You don't have to be a veteran, but it's certainly to help provide veterans here in Hamilton County, employees of Hamilton County with a group to come together. And I think there's going to be significant opportunity there to expand our presence, and we encourage people there to spread the word about us. One thing I'm waiting for feedback from our attorney, Eric Muniz, who had a conflict today, and that's why he's not here today. But we got a letter from the county saying that we will likely be responsible or have a potential tax liability for all of the clothing items that we got. We looked at the criteria. You have to meet 2 criteria to be exempt from that. One is that it's a requirement of your job, and the example they gave is police officer uniform. It's a requirement of your job to have the clothing, and then it can't be something that you could typically wear in a civilian capacity. We're making the argument that the reason we spent the money on all of the items is anytime, either as a commissioner or as a staff member, if we're out doing public-facing events, we want to know folks to know who we are. So it is a quote-unquote requirement. And because of all the label and names and everything, it's not something that you would wear out to, to dinner.
Yeah.
Right? It's specifically work-related. We're hoping to get a favorable. HR came back with a lady's, Maggie Cook, came back with her quote-unquote opinion that we were exempt. But I want a little something more concrete than an HR manager's opinion. I prefer to have something from our legal folks. But I'm fighting for all of our benefit here that we don't have to pay that. But if that's something that we will need to do, I will let you know that you would be liable for the tax value of the cost of your clothing items. I had the opportunity, I'll pass this around. Share that. Last week, I got a kind of a last minute call from the county commissioner's office, Operation Greenlight, which I had never really heard of, but they had a proclamation. And fortunately, I was already in my suit because I was going somewhere else. They invited me over, accepted the proclamation from the county commissioner's Operation Greenlight, which is a veteran recognition. And it's funny because I asked, what does Operation Greenlight mean? And nobody knew, but we researched a little bit, and it goes back, and then it was, once I found out, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. In the military, you've heard, you got the green light to go. That means mission moving forward. So that's what Operation Greenlight was about. The proclamation's coming around. We're going to have that framed and mounted there in the office. The second band's been put into place. Thanks to all who had an opportunity to attend Monday's Veteran Appreciation Game. It's very well attended, and it was a great ceremony. A lot of fun.
Who won?
Besides the basketball.
Had Xavier showed up, maybe they could have. Veteran homelessness continues to be a topic that gets talked about quite a bit. We had an initial meeting with Talbert House. We're going to go visit them at their new Clipchamp Family Veterans Residence on December 2nd at 3 o'clock. 49 units at this place, and they're doing all kinds of things for veteran homelessness that we're going to be a very valued partner with them. And it's going to be very, very synergistic in terms of us helping. That's in addition to what we already are doing with the Quality Inn over on the west side. I had an opportunity to connect with an attorney, Christine Mayer, who's a VA accredited attorney. Shared her information with Chris. For those veterans who are denied their claim or who are not getting the response from the VA that they had hoped, we're able to refer those veterans to Christine. She doesn't charge anything up front. How her fee is paid is it's 20% of whatever retroactive claim that they get. And I've researched that a little bit, and that is very, very reasonable compared to what many other attorneys around are asking for, sometimes 35% of that. So that's a new avenue that we're exploring along with the claims team.
She's a VA employee?
No, she's not. She's an independent attorney, Christine Mayer, but she's VA accredited. So she's accredited for the VA to represent veterans in their appeals processes.
Do you feel that's a good thing? I mean, the work that the VSOs do in different organizations, and appeal it, to pay a lawyer that, they making a killing off veterans, and in the long run, they gonna get it. It just take time. And I mean, for us to recommend somebody, I disagree with it.
Yeah.
My
I
understanding
just
is
want to
that,
say, when we were at VSO training, that's actually what they said. That's normally we don't refer veterans to lawyers because of those fees. However, the process is long and veterans are waiting years, especially for those higher level reviews as you move up the review process. But they told us at VSO training that they actually want veterans to explore that area because of the way the system is currently working. I mean, we were there and they actually, go ahead.
they talked about legislation to prohibit private attorneys from filing claims. On the federal level, there's a lot of opposition to that because they want to give veterans the choice that if they choose to hire an attorney, they should be able to do so. So they don't want to completely bar that. In discussing this with Chris and with Glenn, this individual would be used primarily in situations where somebody would have difficulty getting a nexus letter, and that's what this attorney specializes in. So if somebody has trouble getting a letter from a private doctor or the VA, which we run into frequently, this will be like a last resort almost.
And that's exactly what it is. It's not the first step by any means. It's for those whose claims have been denied and the VA has shut the door.
And there's no hope of getting a nexus letter from a private attorney.
Correct.
Or a private doctor.
So it's
So this
the
attorney-
last opportunity.
Well, I'm going to Washington DC in February to talk about that, about the legislation for them not to get lawyers in February. And it's gonna be on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the history of the Veteran Service Commissions in Ohio and in other states, that's the reason why they were created, because attorneys were going around after the Civil War charging these veterans all kinds of money just to file a claim. So, I mean, I can see both sides.
And it's such a small portion of those who we serve. It's less than 1%. Yes,
Yeah, so if I understand, this is just a resource.
yes.
I think if we're not endorsing this opportunity, but for some individuals, if they don't have, for example, I know some veterans, there's this mysterious place where there was a fire. You can't get any of your records because there was a fire in this place. Some of you all may be familiar with this story for the, right?
Oh, yeah. St. Louis.
Right. but we don't know how to help those individuals because we're ignorant to that.
And
But for some individuals, this may be a resource because the difference between being 10% to being 100% could be your children going to college, which might impact the upward mobility of your family. So we don't want to close off any opportunities and basically essentially take away hope.
I would like to see, just for our own protection, more than one lawyer on that list.
Absolutely, I agree.
Maybe a list of 3 or 4 or 5 and let them hit. Because if we put our recommendation on it, then we're endorsing it, there's some liability there.
We can certainly do that. I presented at the Rotary Club last week, and there was a he's a retired sports attorney, but he wants to help in this regard. So I have his contact information as well.
I want to say the VA, I wanted 2 half days a week. They do have attorneys for no charge for veterans. And so perhaps, you could get a list of that so you could be consistent across the organization.
the second Friday.
Right, instead of endorsing
Yeah.
an outside attorney,
Okay.
if they're already vetted through the VA, just an odd.
Second Friday.
Okay.
Also the VFW.
So the
I
social
think maybe you should talk to
Social work, absolutely.
Eric.
I will. Okay. All right. Just real quick, a couple things real quick and I'll wrap up. I mentioned previously, veteran Doug Carver. He was the gentleman that I drove up to Canal Winchester who did the elder abuse interview on behalf of the Attorney General of the state of Ohio. We have targeted Tuesday, November 25th as the working party day out at his house. Recall that he's 100% blind. We're going to put together some chairs for him that have wheels on them. He recently had windows installed and they had to take the blinds down. He needs help with that and to clean up. So we're going to make that a fun kind of a engagement event. Tuesday the 25th. I'll get all the information out to you.
That's what day.
Reach out to Home Depot, because they will help you with that.
He's got everything he needs
Oh.
except hands and wrenches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not having to.
Bodies.
Yeah, and we're just
They
gonna.
bring bodies.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
but we're.
Take for
So I'm gonna propose that we do that probably mid-morning. He's free that day. But what I would also wanna offer is later that afternoon, I can arrange for a walkthrough of our new facility. If anybody is interested in doing that. We've had the opportunity to go over there a couple of weeks ago for one of the meetings.
When did they, 'cause I've never been there.
Yeah, I had not either, and it's really exciting. It's a gorgeous place, and it's still a hard hat environment. But I will send out information to all of you for that. So plan on a working party in the morning at Mr. Carver's house, and then we'll wrap up.
Could you give us the address?
Yeah, I'll send all of that. He lives in Shannonville, so all of that information will come.
Have you considered a partnership with a local school, like Princeton, or people who may have, for example, I don't do those things in my own home. I don't have the capacity. So have we considered a partnership with a nonprofit or a school that may have the capacity to do those things?
This was a one-off, and I drove the gentleman up to a suburb of Columbus, Canal Winchester, and drove him back and then helped him get back into his house and saw kind of the circumstances there and offered our assist. So this is not a program that we have. This is just a one-off thing. Now, if this is something that gains momentum or we decide from an outreach or engagement standpoint that we can do things like that.
Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yeah.
They really look at veterans and veterans needs as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we refer
They do.
people to Habitat
That
for
would be a
Humanity
great
on
organization.
And don't forget Home Depot.
Well, yeah.
I mean, for veterans.
Right.
They, you know, because I got a number. If you need it, the guy, I got a contact.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner.
And I'll give it to y'all, so y'all give it to veterans.
Thank you.
So, Madam President, that kind of wraps things up for my report. Sorry, it's a little bit longer than.
Just I don't know, point of order. I have some things that relate to the financial services area that aren't necessarily
Part of the
executive
executive.
allocations. Okay, well, thank you.
I'm sorry, Jim. I thought we were saving that for executive committee. But my
Well, I thought some of this doesn't really apply to the
Okay.
executive session, so.
Well, you're up, Jim.
First, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
First, we now have certified credit counselors. Dick and I both took our exam, got our certification. So we will be able to offer one-on-one credit counseling to our veterans. There's a software package that I actually need to talk to Glenn about, that I've been looking at. It's $30 a month, but it would allow us to create viable action plans for our customers, calculate debt to income ratios, net worth, evaluate monthly spending plans. And it would also tie in with like estate planning, financial planning. So once we get moved, I know everybody keeps hearing that, but we are going to offer these sessions on a regular basis. So that now that we're certified, we'll be able to do this on a one-on-one basis, as opposed to having these general workshops. We can have people sign up for credit counseling sessions or estate planning sessions, and so on. In response to what's going on with the federal government shutdown, we have had slight uptick. It's not nearly as much as we had anticipated, in people seeking financial application or financial assistance due to the fact that they've lost their SNAP benefits. So I came up with a streamlined application that's now available. We're going to have an announcement on our website that if people have lost their SNAP benefits, they can use this streamlined application process. We'll be able to immediately give them a gift card for Walmart, which leads into the next thing that I wanted to report. We are now using a company. I negotiated a deal with the company that is offering us ATF restricted Walmart gift cards. So you cannot use them for alcohol, tobacco, or firearms. We're going to be using those instead of giving people checks. That will be used for food, hygiene, and clothing exclusively. Except for extremely rare circumstances, we will not be issuing checks directly to veterans.
Jim's being pretty humble here. He negotiated a deal where the company that provided us with the gift cards not only waived their fee to provide us the gift cards, they also waived the fee. So when you get a $200 gift card, the value is $200. It's not minus the processing fee. So kudos to Jim for working that out. So it is a straight $200 donation of available cash on that card for our veterans.
And you can get anything you need at Walmart.
Correct. Yeah. Clothing, hygiene products, cleaning products. Food. Also, as part of that program, when we give the gift card, the veteran is going to sign an agreement that he or she will keep all receipts. And if they come back for subsequent assistance and do not have those receipts, that will be a basis for them to apply directly to the board. So we want to make sure that they're not going there and using the $200 gift card to buy a TV. So they will be required to keep the receipts. We are also going to have our holiday gift card program beginning December 1st. We'll make an announcement on our website, and we will have the applications available. We'll probably distribute the gift cards probably the first or second week of December. So that's all I have.
That's all you have for right now?
For right now.
Okay.
We do have a veteran who is a
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other commissioners have any updates?
Yes, I'd like to thank Cornell for coming out for Lincoln Heights, first Veteran Day. And, we was out there at 2:15. Amber had something to do, so, this organization was represented, and the village of Lincoln Heights and the school in Princeton thank the Helmsley County Service Commission.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else have any updates?
I know it.
No, okay, I'd just like to thank Executive Director Glenn Welling there. He was the guest speaker out at Harrison High School Monday's Veterans Day program, and they put on a heck of a program, I'll tell you, and they make you feel extra special. The ROTC out there does a great job. They're out at the doors, opening them for you, welcoming you. When we went down on the main floor, they did the swords, and all the veterans walked through there, and Students run the program mainly, and I thought they did a great job. James was there in his Marine uniform, looked very, very sharp. So that was a great day. On Tuesday, I was the guest speaker out at Crosby Senior Township at their annual luncheon, and that was a great luncheon. And while I was there, I learned that our outreach is going to be there next week to help veterans with any questions, claims, or anything like that. So the director of the Crosby Center asked me if I'd say a few words about making sure that they came and talked, because a lot of veterans, they feel like they're getting a handout by doing, applying for benefits or whatever. And I tried to explain to them, that's something that they earned, and it's not going to keep someone else from getting a benefit that needs it. So, yeah, so we're hoping for a big turnout there. And Amber, she couldn't have said more nice things about you, Brenda did.
When's the
And that
date
was
of
great.
that?
The 18th.
The date?
It's on that calendar.
Okay.
It's in
The 18th.
The 18th?
Yes, sir.
yeah, 18th at 6 p.m. I think at the
Could
front.
you, text me the address and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing, Lincoln Ware went on the honor flight. And
Oh.
not only, he took the reef out.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So, yeah.
That was an experience.
Give us some pictures, please. We'll post
Okay,
that.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got you with the basketball, but now we need you in turkey.
Another thing, we had 100, how old was he?
102.
102.
Don't push.
No, Horace,
We got a
Horace
104
McCray.
and one 102, and I would like for them to come here and have a picture taken, both of them World War II, and, to have two World War II veterans over 100 years old is something.
Yeah.
But, thank Amber for having that guy there. It was whoever had him there, it was an honor meeting him.
Well, and I'm going to give kudos to James, because James Massey is the one that's really making those connections, because he's providing transportation to those folks.
Yeah.
And so that's how we got Horace McCray and his wife Lena up in the suite on Monday, and all of this. So I think all that we're hearing, do you see how the presence of the VSC is growing and the connections? And I'm going to say this when I present to the county commissioners. I view our mission as very much a grassroots community development initiative. And the community that we're developing is our thriving veteran community here in Hamilton County. And all of the things that we're doing are, so it's exciting.
And Richard, did you run or walk in the marathon?
I walked. I mean, I really didn't train, and this is gonna really freak y'all out. I was next to the and 52, I was 750.
Outstanding.
But I made it.
Well, at least you
And I
weren't
raised-
1753.
And I raised $4,000.
Yes.
Sponsor
Yeah.
Richard. Oh, outstanding.
Yeah.
I'm amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next year, I would like to see us do it as a team.
As a
All
team,
right.
that'd be great.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it.
And it's fun. It really is fun. And they come from all over the
They come
United
all
States.
over.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a guy from Alaska and Hawaii.
Okay. Congrats.
Right.
Lincoln gonna run next year.
All right, so does anybody else got any updates before we move to executive session? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to move to executive session to review the emergency financial assistance applications for the period of 10/1/25 through 10/31/25 and pursue to ORC 121.22J and 5901.09C. And B, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official pursuit to ORC 121.22G1.
Madam Chair, I'd like to invite our
First, you need to make a motion.
I make a motion that we invite Jim, our financial officer, and our director, Lynn.
Second? Is there any discussion?
Yes. Why is the financial officer being invited?
Because he's gonna give us the financial report.
He's given us the report for the, yeah, for those.
I'm asking him.
Well, Jim's the one with all the knowledge about what the financial, report. And then,
Okay.
yeah,
We need to
yes, we do. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Brightfelder, Commissioner Hedden,
Yeah.
Commissioner Lowry, Commissioner Reiner, Commissioner Rowland, Commissioner Ware,
Yeah.
Commissioner Watson, Madam President Wilson.
Okay, motion carried, we're gonna move into executive session. Ask all our guests to leave. If for some reason you're not going or you need something changed, please let Chelsea know right away. Okay, because if we don't cancel the reservation or we don't modify the reservation, we still get charged. So
Yes, ma'am.
And
it's in your folder.
FYI, I plan to be there on Saturday, to participate on Saturday, and then I've been invited to Stark County. So I'm driving over to Stark County on Sunday. I'll be visiting their, facility on Monday.
Good deal.
Are the new commissioners going?
No,
This will be their first meeting.
yeah.
I mean, are they going?
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to the
That's what I'm
training
asking.
in November.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
will be there.
I believe.
They're in there.
I
Yeah.
just
She-
Yeah,
She's going as well.
yeah, the new commissioners are going to the training, yes.
Because I didn't see their names on the form.
It's in their folder. You have your folder, Lee?
Yes, I do.
Okay, they all have folders.
So the new
These are all the travel arrangements, they're in the folders.
It's a
Okay.
weekend, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Alright.
typically the new commissioner training
Okay.
is at the Vern Rice Center
Yeah, well,
downtown.
you still, I believe there's some sort of.
Does anybody got anything else to discuss? Hey, Richard,
Why did, yeah.
we're in a meeting. Anybody else got anything else to discuss? If not, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So we have to approve the, report. We have
I'm
to
sorry?
approve- We have to.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Lee,
I
sorry
make a
about that.
motion, we approve the financial report.
Second.
Second, roll call, please, Chelsea.
Commissioner Brightfelder, Commissioner Hedden,
Yeah.
Commissioner Lowry,
Step
oh,
back.
beg pardon,
She'll be back.
Commissioner Reiner, Commissioner Rowland,
Yeah.
Commissioner Ware,
Yeah.
Commissioner Watson,
Yeah.
Commissioner Wilson.
Okay. Now, with no further business to come before the meeting, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
moved.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Oh, when's our next meeting? It is
December 10th.
December